Today we're going to talk about resume. I'm going to share with you everything that you need to know about building the resume, what's right, what works, what doesn't work, etc. This is the resume template I shared with you before. If you don't have it yet, you will see the link in description below. You can download it. It's going to help you with resume building, LinkedIn profile optimization, finding jobs that you want, preparing for the interview, networking. My whole point of making this YouTube channel is that I developed a YouTube video dedicated to answer those questions, and then I post it online, so it's available for everyone for free. Okay, cool. So today we're going to discuss all the details about resume. We're going to break down the sections and I'm going to explain to you logic behind it. Before we start that, I want you to remember that resume is just a tool for you to answer as much questions as possible that hiring manager or the recruiter might have. So when you see the job description, you will most likely see what they're looking for, so what questions they might have, and we want to make sure that we are answering all those questions in the resume. And also keep in mind that average time recruiter or hiring manager or CEO spends on one resume is around 2 to 3 seconds. So if you don't catch their attention in 2 seconds, they're not gonna scroll down, they'll just move on to the next resume. So our main goal is that when someone opens your resume, we have 2 seconds to convince that person that you are a good candidate for that job. And we need to do it somewhere here. One suggestion, guys, I know that camera might not be close enough to see the text, but I would suggest that when you start editing the resume, just download the template, as I say, open it up and watch this video while you start editing. When I explain what we need to do in summary, you do the summary, pause the video, finish the summary, and then move on to the next step. So that will be the best way to do it. I'd say this part is self-explanatory. And then here, as we said before, we want to catch the attention right here. This is where we need to have really great summary, so we catch the attention in 2 seconds. We should describe our best achievements that we ever had in the career that's related to the job description. For example, if I wanted to apply for customer success manager, the question the recruiter has is, why are you the best customer success manager? What's your achievement as customer success manager? And this is where I need to answer that question. I can't just say I'm a qualified customer success manager. I should describe why I think I'm qualified. Like, how many years? What are my specific achievements? Can I describe this achievement in numbers? We should be as specific as possible here. Summary is actually the part of the resume that I get most questions about, and I would suggest if you are new in editing resumes and creative thinking, I would just suggest to copy paste this summary and put it in ChatGPT and ask remake it for marketing managers, and at least it will give you some brief copy that you can then edit it for yourself and put your numbers and your achievement. And then depending on responsibilities and job description, we want to also mention our technical skills as well. So I would say if the summary part is done right, and if you follow this logic that you see here, this is enough for the hiring manager to decide, do they want to scroll down and continue reading your experiences or not? Because everything they can see in the experience leads to what you achieved here and what you say you have achieved here. If you use AI, any AIs really, first brief will be very AI-like. So try to ask it again to not use fluffy words, exaggeration, etc. So make it sound very simple. It should sound similar to what would you sound in everyday life. It will be official, obviously, because this is the formal document, but still there shouldn't be too much exaggeration, too formal. It shouldn't be too formal because the person who is reading it, either it's HR or hiring manager or the CEO, they're normal people. Not everyone speaks that highly fluent corporate language. Honestly, in my experience, nobody really likes that. Try to use as simple human-like words as you see here. Okay, once this part is done, we move to the work experience. Your last experience that you have is the second most important thing in the resume. As we said, number one most important thing is the summary part, and after that, your previous experience. Now, obviously, I didn't work in Cupcake. I just wanted to write anything here. But as you can see, I use a lot of data, a lot of numbers, a lot of percentages. We need to quantify your experience into numbers, percentages, stats. Very important. As you can see, I include numbers and percentages and stats in almost every line. There are just few lines without numbers, and you should try your best to make it like this. I receive so many questions specifically for this because people don't know clearly what are their KPIs in the company. This could be because you just don't have any document that discuss your KPIs, or if you're working in startup, you might don't have KPIs because you were kind of doing everything. So I understand that you might not be sure about numbers. If you think right now that you don't have numbers and you don't have KPIs and you haven't achieved anything like that, I promise you, you just don't know how to rephrase and how to quantify your achievements into numbers. You have numbers. Everybody has numbers. Person who works in McDonald's have a lot of numbers. They just need to know how to write them. I'm giving you the document below. There will be some questions that will guide you through finding your numbers. I promise you, no matter what you do in the company, you do have achievements, you do have numbers, you have impact in growing or succeeding that business. So we just need to find that and put it here. I'll give you one example that's related to this resume. Bad line versus really good line. How we can change bad lines to like good lines that sound this way. For example, someone who is working in customer success could have said, I created meaningful relationship with our customers. Now, when I read this as a recruiter or hiring manager, yes, it sounds good, but also 100 other resumes sound the same way. So we need specifics. This is how I would change that sentence. I would say I managed 50 plus mid-market accounts from onboarding through renewal. This tells me a lot. It says that you were managing 15 plus mid-market, not small, but mid-market accounts. That's quite a good number for one person to manage. And you were managing them from onboarding through renewal. Manage the whole client lifestyle for 50 plus medium-sized businesses. It's very specific. It gives me a good idea of what you were doing and what you have achieved. I see a lot of marketing managers will use sentences like, I crafted successful marketing campaigns. I don't know what successful means for you. I don't know what was the outcome. It sounds good, but I'm not sure. I can talk to you, I can understand more insights. I just see your resume and that's not enough. I will choose the person who specifically says in numbers what their achievements were. It's very easy for the recruiter and hiring manager to understand what you have achieved, and now it's worth their time to invite you on the interview. But if you don't answer the main questions here, it just doesn't make sense to invite you on the interview. This is how I would change it. I built targeting marketing strategy that increased brand visibility by 30%. That's more than enough. I hope that these few examples were enough for you to understand the logic behind it and how we want to rephrase your job description and what you have achieved. The document that I'm giving you in the description below will help you find your numbers. And also your numbers might not be like 100% accurate if you didn't have a clear KPIs, but it's okay. It shows enough qualification and nobody's gonna have a problem about like 100% accuracy here, especially if you never had clear KPIs and clear numbers. So that's okay, don't worry about that. So just to review what we went through so far, we said summary is the most important thing. After summary, your previous experience is the second most important thing. After that, you can put your other experiences. You don't need to break it down so much, just a brief explanation of what you were doing. And then at the end, that would be great if you put some words on achievements you might have or certification, etc. It's super easy and it's like self-explanatory here. And then we'll put language and education. So main thing with like colors and format of the resume is that we want to keep it as simple as possible, eye-pleasing. Personally, for me, if I see the resume with the photo, it's okay. I'm not sensitive about that. I wouldn't need the photo, but if it's in it, that's fine. But there are a lot of recruiters and hiring managers who just don't like that. So I would suggest never use the photo in your resume. Keep it as simple as possible. Text shouldn't be too much and too crowded. No one really has time to read so much, especially hiring managers and recruiters. They're very, very busy people. And please remember, as I said before, resume is just a tool for you to answer hiring managers' questions. That's it. You need to answer enough questions so they're like, okay, let's talk to this person on the interview. It shows that you read through their job description and what they're looking for, and you gave them what they're looking for already, so they're now interested to talk to you. Keep in mind that you have 2 to 3 seconds to grab the attention of that person who opens your resume. If you can't do it in 2 to 3 seconds, nobody's gonna scroll down and read that you have awesome experience. it should be right there. You should catch them in the summary. I've just talked about it so many times. In my head, everything is clear, but there might be some nuances that you don't understand. So just comment below and I will make the videos addressing those questions. That's it for today, and see you in the next one.